Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing products that I've been using and trying out recently. It's going to be a bit of a mix, some beauty, some skin, and some hair. Now I've got a lot of products to get through, so let's jump right in. Let's start with skincare. I tried two new moisturizers recently, and one is the Peach Slices Snail Rescue All-in-One Deep Moisture Cream, and it contains snail mucin and squalane. If you've been here for a while, then you already know that I love the Peach Slices Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. The snail mucin in that product does so much for my skin, and I wanted to give this moisturizer a try because it contains that same ingredient. There are two versions of this moisturizer, and I got the one that is the Deep Moisture Cream because I have dry skin. My only complaint about this is the same about the other moisturizer I'm going to mention, and that is that it's really nice, but I just want something a little bit thicker, a little bit more moisturizing for my skin. And that's just a personal preference thing because, like I said, it is a nice moisturizer. I think that if you have normal or combo skin, you'll really like this moisturizer. And even if you have dry skin, you might like this too. For me, where I would most likely use this in my routine from now on would be if I wanted to put a layer of moisturizer on my skin before starting makeup. But as far as it being my everyday moisturizer or my nighttime moisturizer, it just doesn't do quite enough for me. I personally felt like I was getting more moisture from the toner than I was from the moisturizer. All in all though, definitely not a bad product, and I recommend it if you're looking for a very standard moisturizer that's not too thick, but also does give you some moisture. The other moisturizer I've been using, and I'm actually still in the process of using this right now, is the BYOMA Moisturizing Rich Cream. I really like this because of the ingredients that are in it. But again, as far as using it as my everyday moisturizer, I do wish there was just a little bit more oomph to it. So I will continue to use this. I will use this until it's finished up, but I probably won't be repurchasing it. I have a couple skincare products that I want to talk about from Glow Recipe. I got this Fruit Babies Bestsellers kit. Now, the kit is still available, but there are slightly different products in it now. So just know that if you do end up buying the Fruit Babies Bestsellers kit. And the first thing is this Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask. I had actually already used this before trying the kit, and I find it to be okay. I found that my skin did look more glowy and more plump after using it, but the actual effects ended up kind of, fading within the day or so. So I think this is nice for instant results, but it's not really a mask that I see myself reaching for all the time. Next, we have the Blueberry Bounce Gentle Cleanser. Again, this isn't bad, but it didn't really knock my socks off. It's just a standard cleanser. I do like the fact that I can travel with this because it's mini. It's definitely fine enough for me to use on vacation or when I'm out of town or something, but I wouldn't purchase a full size of this because I have plenty of cleansers that work just as well that are at a lower price point. The Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. This one, I can actually say I did not like. I felt like I needed to add another moisturizer on top of this the few times that I tried it. I think that this is definitely a moisturizer that is more suited for normal and even oily skin types. It simply just did not do enough for me at all. As you can see, it's more of a gel cream consistency, and that will typically lend itself to being better for oily skin. Now, all these products smell divine though. I will give them that. Next up from Glow Recipe is the Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore-Tight Toner. This is the one I liked the second best of all of the products that I tried from this kit. I ran through it quicker than all of the others because I love me a toner just in general. But the exfoliating ingredients in this toner just made it that much more appealing to me. And then the fact that it had that watermelon scent was really nice. Now, last of this bunch is the Avocado Melt Retinol Eye Sleeping Mask. And this is what I loved the most of the kit. I'm still working on finishing it up, and I'm so glad that I still have some left because I love it so much. It's so creamy, but also so light, so it added such a nice level of moisture under my eyes without being too thick to wear under makeup. Of course, you want to use a very, very small amount if you're going to use this under makeup. I know it says it's an eye sleeping mask, but I would use it at night, use it during the day, didn't give me any issues. But I'm just so impressed with the way that it made my under eyes look, particularly under makeup. Of all the products that I tried from Glow Recipe, I would definitely repurchase this one in its full size. That wraps up everything for skin, and I do have one hair care product, and that's the Ava NYC Main Magic 10-in-1 Primer. Now, I'm like 99% sure I mentioned this product in my best of 2022 hair care video, but I wanted to run that back because I have found that I love this product even more than I did back then. And the reason why I love it so much is because it genuinely just gives your hair that little bit of extra oomph whenever you're styling it, especially if you're in between washes and you want to do a new style, but you don't quite want to wet your hair because it's either blow dried or something like that and you are natural like me. Another reason why I love this product is for silk presses. For all of you that do silk presses, you know that it begins with a really good blow dry. And then after that, you need to add another layer of heat protector before you go in with a flat iron. But I also don't want to go spraying a liquid heat protectant on my freshly blow dried hair, obviously. And I've noticed that in the hair care community, people usually reach for serums when it comes to that, but it can tend to make the flat iron process that much harder because now your hands are all slippery, your hair is all slippery. That's where this comes in. Now, don't get me wrong, this does still have a little bit of slip to it, but not as much as you'll experience with your typical serum, hair serum, like the John Frieda Frizz Ease serum or the one that comes in that red bottle. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Granted, those are two great products, but if you are just sick of using that type of product right before you flat iron your hair, then I highly recommend trying this one out. All right, moving on to beauty products. Let's start with lips because I have a couple of lip products that I want to share today that I've been testing out. I've been trying out the Rare Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Fun. Now, first off, I really like the packaging of this. I know it's like, you know, kind of inconsequential, but I find it cute. I like the fact that it clicks. And I like the fact that it's, you know, nice and sleek. It gives me a very classic, very cute vibe, and I love that. This is actually the first product that I've tried from Rare Beauty. There's a couple others that I'm very, you know, curious about and interested in, but this is the one that I pulled the trigger on. I'm not wearing this today, but I'll show you guys a swatch. This is a really pretty pinky brown. And honestly, you know, it's a pretty standard matte lipstick, more on the satin matte side, so it's definitely not uncomfortable. It's not going to dry your lips out at all. I really enjoy this particular shade. I think it's very flattering for my skin tone, and I was actually leaning between this and another shade. But honestly, I mean, this formula hasn't blown me away, but I just really, really enjoy this shade, so I definitely recommend this one. Now, another matte lipstick that I do love more than the Rare Beauty one is by the brand Sunnie's Face, and that is their Fluffmatte lipstick. And I've got one right here. I have the shade Casual, and I'm actually wearing it today. Okay, so first things first, about this formula. The formula is so comfortable. The name of the formula, Fluff Matte, is the perfect way to describe it. Because yes, it is matte on the lips, it is matte appearing, but you can barely feel that it's there. This is definitely the most lightweight lipstick in my collection. I had the hardest time choosing a shade because there were several that I really liked, but I ended up going with Casual, which is this really pretty brown color. So my recommendation to you is to jump on the Sunnie's Face website if you're looking for a matte lipstick, see if you like any of the shades, and then start there. There's actually another lip product by Sunnie's Face that I want to mention today, but I lost it and I cannot find it anywhere, and it's so upsetting because I love this product so much, and that is the Lip Treat. I had the shade Chai, and if I can find any footage of me applying it, I will insert it here. It is so nice. If you're the type of person that doesn't like matte lipsticks, liquid matte lipsticks, but you also aren't a lip oil or a lip gloss girly, then these Lip Treats are perfect for you. They are beautiful, moisturizing, they have a nice hint of color, and they're so easy to apply. Literally the perfect type of product that you just throw in your bag on the go. And I'm just gonna give myself another week or so of looking for it before I go ahead and reorder it. That's how much I love it. Now, another lip product that I'm actually shocked to even be mentioning in today's video is the Lawless Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask? Yes, lip plumping mask. So I bought this one because I had a gift card to Sephora, and I was influenced on this one. I think it was Jessica Braun that was mentioning this in one of her videos, and I thought, all right, let me try this. Guys, it's so good. So let me just say from the jump, it's expensive. Even for what it is, it's expensive. But I have not personally seen another product like this on the market. Now, what's special about this particular sleeping mask is that it moisturizes your lips. It gets rid of those lines in your lips if you have issues with that. So what I love about this is the fact that it's nice and moisturizing. It smells divine. I have the cherry vanilla one, but it also is plumping, but not so plumping to the point where it hurts your lips, but definitely gives you a little bit of oomph to your lip look there. So I like to use this to prep before makeup. I'm wearing it underneath the lipstick that I'm wearing today. And I'm telling you, there is a noticeable difference from the time that you put it on until a couple minutes later when it does a nice, beautiful plump to your lips. You can definitely tell a difference. The plumping definitely does work, but not to the point where it hurts your lips or anything. Yeah, I am almost done with mine, and I don't know, part of me doesn't want to repurchase it, but I kind of want to. All right, so I've been testing out 2 new concealers. One is the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit of a hater when this first came out because people were saying that it's a dupe for the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer that you all know that I love. When I first started using it, I thought this is definitely not a dupe. I don't even know why people are saying that. And then it grew on me. So I won't say that it is an all-out dupe, but it is similar. It doesn't have quite the same coverage level nor the dry down as the Too Faced Born This Way. I think the Too Faced Born This Way still dries down a little bit more natural looking than this concealer, but honestly, this concealer is fantastic. This has quickly become part of my everyday makeup routine. I do have the shade 33N, which is a little bit light, so I think that if I do repurchase this, I'm gonna go just a shade, a step down from this, but I've been using it to brighten and also lift my outer corner of my eyes, and it just chef's kiss. Beautiful, beautiful concealer. And for $15, you definitely can't beat it. Now, of course, if you like more of a medium coverage concealer, you like more of a luminous concealer, you're probably not going to like this. Although the finish to this isn't too matte. I would say it's more like a satin matte, a nice little workable finish. But again, if you're liking something a little bit more luminous with less coverage, you're probably not going to like this. But speaking of luminous with less coverage, the other concealer I tried is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. I have this one in the shade Tan 12. And so the first thing I have to say about this concealer is I'm not crazy about the shades. There wasn't really a shade that I felt like I could use. Well, not that there wasn't a shade that I could use. It was more that there wasn't a shade that was perfect for me. And especially like the higher you get in the price range, the more I need the color to work for me because I'm not buying 2 Charlotte Tilbury concealers. Now, with that being said, the actual coverage level that it provides and the luminosity of this, I really enjoy. This is definitely more for the type of person who doesn't like as much coverage, but you can also, dress this up a little bit. You could use this for more of a more full glam look, but this is for the type of person who doesn't need like full coverage like this concealer will provide for you. It also absolutely needs to be set down. So I found that if I didn't set it down, it ended up in my fine lines like crazy, more so than a typical concealer. But again, I find that to be typical of radiant concealers. If this one had a shade for me that I was in love with, I would be singing the praises of this concealer. But because it doesn't, I'm just, I feel okay about it. I definitely will not be repurchasing this one. Gosh, I keep telling you whether or not I would repurchase it, but this is not an empties video. This is a review video. I've been testing out 2 products from the Ulta Beauty line because I wanted to dive in and see what's good. And this one I was pretty disappointed by. And that is the Cheek Squad Cream Face Palette. So all things considered, I really like this concept. It seems like it's kind of duping the Kaja Beauty bentos. And I was just very intrigued by this. Now, my first issue, and I've mentioned this about Ulta before, there is something up with the way that they share their shades on their website. I'm telling you, it did not look like this online. This is not, like, these shades are so misrepresented on the Ulta website. And, I find that it makes me not want to purchase anything from the Ulta Beauty line unless I can actually see it in store. When you look at this, right, this blush is so pigmented. It's also deep, right? So you would think, oh, okay, this is for a deeper skinned person, right? So then I bring you to the highlighter. Again, this is a darker highlighter, right? So again, you would think that this would be for someone with darker skin. So then whose idea was to put this in as a bronzer or contour or whatever this is supposed to be? I don't even know what this is. What is this? Somebody tell me. I just felt like this was weird. It's like if the blush works for you and the highlighter works for you, then the bronzer is definitely not. And vice versa. If this bronzer works for you, honey, this highlighter is way too deep and this blush is gonna be way too much. So I think this was a good concept, but just kind of poorly executed. And I would like to see them redo this and come out with like a light, medium, and deep. I think that people would be really interested in trying that. Now for the actual performance of the products themselves, I mean, I wasn't crazy about them. Like I said, the blush was super, super pigmented, so it kind of made me not really want to use it too much. The highlighter is just a little bit too deep for my skin, although texture-wise is really nice and creamy, very easy to put on and blend out. And then the bronzer contour thing, I mean, it was fine, creamy, but I can't really see it on my skin, so I can't really talk about how it performed in that respect. Now, an Ulta Beauty product that I do love is this Bouncy eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Italian Ice. And I got this on the recommendation of Kelly Gooch here on YouTube. And this one, I'm so glad that I purchased this one, especially because recently, and I say recently, like the last 2 years or so, I have not been doing much with my eyeshadow. If anything, I'm just swiping on one shimmery shade and throwing some bronzer in the crease and calling it a day. And some days I'm not doing anything at all to my eyes. This is a really good one and done shadow, and it actually reminds me of the bottom shade of my Kaja Beauty Bento. Now the Kaja one is slightly deeper and actually more pigmented. So if you have been using this Kaja Beauty Bento and you find that the bottom shade or any of the shades are just a little bit too punchy for you, you want something that has a little bit less of a background pigment, consider checking this out. I think you might really like it. So if you've been using the Kaja Beauty Bento, especially that last shade in Orange Blossom, and you feel like it's a little bit too pigmented, a little bit too glittery, then give this one a shot. I think you might really enjoy it. Now, I mentioned these in my new drugstore makeup, and I'll link that down below if you missed that one, but the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wands, I'm in love with. I can't say I'm big on the blushes or the highlighters, but these contour wands I've definitely been putting to use. I have both medium tan and tan deep, and both of them work for me. Medium tan ends up being more of a bronzer shade for me, and then tan deep is more of a contour. And like everybody else has been saying, I don't really like the fact that you can like continuously squeeze product out of the tube without like a stopper. But all things considered, it is a drugstore price, and I think for the price, this performs very, very well. Another thing that I like about these is that they are pretty beginner friendly. All right, now let's talk about this Dior Rosy Glow blush. I got this in PR, and you can see it's barely been touched, and that's because it's terrible. Talk about a disappointment, right? Like, I got that in the mail, and I was a little bit skeptical because of the shade, but I thought, you know, maybe it's pigmented enough, it'll still show up on my skin. It doesn't. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. I don't like it. I found it to be kind of chalky, which is interesting because it's Dior. I mean, I expected more out of a high-end blush. I don't think I've ever actually purchased a luxury blush with my own money, and man, after this experience, I'm glad I haven't. And this one is in the shade 001 Pink. When I saw that Dior was expanding their range on these blushes, I couldn't help but feel like it's because maybe that whole first set are just duds, right? Maybe it's just this shade. I don't know, but definitely can't recommend this. I mean, I can't really speak to any of the other shades, but my experience with this one certainly does not make me want to buy another one. All right, Merit Beauty have been one of the it brands to come on the scene, and for good reason. I think that their products, while on the luxury side, have really nice packaging and are also, to me, they remind me of an elevated version of Glossier. Now, the two products that I've been testing by them are their bronzer and the brow pomade. Now, the bronzer, I have the shade Leo. I'll show that to you here. Now, first off, just like I said, I love the packaging of these products. They're super sleek, super beautiful. And this bronzer is so popular for good reason. Now, this bronzer is very popular for good reason. I find that this is the easiest bronzer to use in my collection. And again, it is a more expensive product, but the ease of use really lends itself to that pricing, at least in my opinion. It's super nice, creamy, blendable, so easy to use. And my only complaint is the shade. The shade works for me, but it's not going to work for me in about a month or so as we get deeper into the summer. I have the volumizing pomade in brown black, and I like it. I'm wearing it in my brows today. My whole thing is, it is a nice product, but there are a couple other products just like this from the drugstore that I feel perform very similarly, and so I would just reach for those or recommend those over this simply because of the price difference. And so the first one that comes to mind is actually the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I feel that it performs very, very similar to this. All right, let's round this video out with some mascara reviews. I tried 2 new mascaras recently. One is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. Now, everything that I'm about to say about this mascara, take into consideration that I'm talking about the mini and I have not tried the full version. Now, I love this mascara. I got this as my birthday gift. It was a little Ilia mini 2 set. It came with this and one other product, and I love this. I'm wearing it right now. I like this mascara because it gives you nice, flirty, fluttery lashes without the volume. So for me, this makes it a nice everyday mascara, but I could also very easily layer on a more voluminizing mascara if I want a more intense look. I have the shade After Midnight, which is a standard black, and I've just been really enjoying this mascara. I'm actually so sad because I'm about to be out of my sample. The other mascara I tried is the YSL Lash Clash Mascara in brown. And here's what it looks like. So this, and you can actually see by the wand that this mascara's focus is mainly volume, and it's also a brown mascara. And I got this one in PR, and I find it to be okay. It definitely does give volume. It actually does a little bit of lengthening too, but I find that the brush is just really, really big, really kind of hard to work with. And I don't know. I feel that when I watch videos of other influencers, like on TikTok and stuff, they're able to build this up so much. But I also think that it has to do with the fact that they might just have longer lashes than mine. I don't know. I can never get this to look the way that I've seen it look by certain other influencers. So if you have any tips on how to make this mascara look even better, like on 10, like, you know, I like my mascara very dramatic, then please leave your comments down below with any suggestions. I am typically a drugstore mascara girly. I have recently been loving the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. That's pretty much what I've been wearing as my everyday. And then beyond that, Essence Lash Princess, L'Oreal Lash Paradise, you know, all the typical favorites. And I find this high-end luxury mascara to just be okay. All right, guys, that wraps up my video today. Leave your comments down below if you've tried any of these products and let me know what you think of them. Also, let me know down below if there are any products that you would like to see me try. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are having the best day or night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Told you so extra, but I know I'm the same. Yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my. All good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay